Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. And today I have another eyeshadow bank. This time it's for June, and I'm gonna be sharing with you what I've been kind of spending my money and my points on when it comes to eyeshadows, and what points I've been able to earn, whether from like no pen left behind, hitting pans, using up eyeshadows, and other milestones. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. In case you're new here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows, and that's kind of why I've started participating in this eyeshadow bank to kind of, have a little more of understanding of how much I actually use all my products and, keep myself in check to know that, maybe certain months I've been spending more points, so I need to either use my products more or just slow down on the purchases. And I'm someone who buys eyeshadows quite regularly, so I will always be either around the negative or the number 0. So I don't think I'm gonna be like too many points in the positives, but I still want to kind of make it almost even when it comes to how much I'm bringing in and how many points I'm earning every single month. I was inspired by Laura Force. I will link her channel down below. And most of my rules are similar to hers, but a couple of them I kind of changed up or added a couple of rules so that it just makes more sense to me and to how I use eyeshadows and my spendings, because I don't want to completely be like in thousands of negative points, and I still want to reward myself on things that I think are important, but to still make it kind of hard on myself to the point that I do actually have to like focus my my uses and try to minimize how much I'm actually spending. So hopefully that all makes sense. And now let's just jump right to it. So I think I'm gonna put the rules over here so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And if I have any photos of like pants or something, I'm gonna try to pop it on the screen so that you can see it. But first up, we're gonna start with the points that I've used up. By the way, the total for last month was negative 305 points, which isn't like insane, but it's definitely not been good. And this month I've started reviewing the Drops of Fantasy by Didi Signature, so that was points spent. This one is a 15 pen palette, so I've spent 150 points because per each eyeshadow pen you're using up 10 points, so that's 150 points. Then I have the I could actually show you. So this is the Drops of Fantasy that I'm currently still like kind of reviewing. I've already made my initial review, but I want to haul it soon. So this is 150 points. Then another palette is the Wilma Finger Dew collab with Beauty Moons Cosmetics. This one is, as you can probably see, it's a 16 pan, so this is 160 points spent on this palette. Then I have the Cherry Palpitation palette, which is a 16 pan palette, so it's another 160 points. I will be getting rid of that palette. That might come as a shock to you, but I've tried it. I made a review not that long ago. I think it's like, I don't know, 5-6 videos before this, and I don't want to keep it. I didn't have the best time, and I tried it 2 more times afterwards, and both of these times I took the makeup off right after I finished the eye look and redone it with something else. So I'm not keeping it. I'm gonna send it elsewhere. So it's gonna be in my next month's declutters category. So that's the palpitation, and then I have 12 new shades from Makeup Beauty Shop. So those are all singles from various different collections, like the Eternal Darkness collection, and a couple of their kind of like holochromes, I believe, and then a couple multichromes. So 12 12 eyeshadows, so it's 120 points. So this month I have purchased eyeshadow palettes that are worth 590 points, which is the most that I've ever done in this project, I believe. Yeah, it's been a lot. And I've been reviewing a lot, but well, am I gonna slow down? I think I still have a couple of palettes I haven't tried, but I think I'm gonna do 3 reviews this month and then a couple dupes. So it's gonna be a little bit better, hopefully. So those are all the points that I've spent. And now let's get to the points that I've earned. Again, I hope the rules are still up. So first category is no pen left behind. In case you don't know what that is, it essentially means that you have to use every single pan of eyeshadow in a palette. So you go through the palette and you use each shade at least once. And if you do that, you've no pen left behind that palette. So for me, usually I try to no pen left behind the palettes that are new to me to get my opinions on it. So when I first review a palette in my initial review, I always use every single shade. And then I try to use each shade minimum of 3 times before I put it in my monthly haul. So since I've already reviewed this, it's been no pen left behind once, and then I have to no pen left behind it 2 more times to create my monthly haul. Sometimes with formulas I already know, I might only use a couple of the shades multiple times to just make sure, you know, usually the shades that maybe feel a little bit different than what I'm used to. And then for the other shades, I just try to come up with a couple looks, but I'm not too bothered if I actually don't hit the 3 uses per each shade. But I was able to know about the Drops of Fantasy, then one of my flower BYOPs that I've created a while ago, then the Wilma Finger Do, then my Chromebook Volume 2 palette by DD Signature, then the Dragon Eye palette by What's Up Beauty. I was actually able to know pen left behind it 3 times because it was in my project level up on the level 3, so I had to know pen left behind it 3 times. Then I was able to know pen left behind my summer BYOP. If you want to see which shades I've used, I will link that down below, or actually in the little card, that's easier for me. Then my Cleonut singles that I was talking about last month's eyebank, and then the Cherry palette, which wasn't good. So for this category, I'm earning 10 points. So a good start. Then I've decluttered 2 palettes, and for me, if I declutter a palette, I'm earning the points back. So if it's a 10 pan, I'm earning 100 points, you know, so exactly the opposite of purchasing, because if I would be like giving it to a friend, I'm counting 5 points per each pan. But if I'm like, you know, reselling it to somebody, because usually I only really get rid of either new palettes or old palettes that I wouldn't ask any money for, because obviously they've been used and they're old. So the ones that I've decluttered are the Moonshroom palette by Lunar Beauty. I've been wondering about that for a really long time because I quite enjoyed the mattes, but I hated the shimmers. They were so like they creased on me so much, and they didn't really look all that great, and they were pretty dark. So that one was a 18 pan, so I'm earning 180 points. And then also the Bitten palette by Gourmand Girls, which was a beautiful formula and a beautiful palette, but it's a color story that wouldn't really get the uses that I would love out of it. And it's just a palette that would kind of collect dust, and I would maybe use it a couple times for like a Halloween-y makeup. But that's about it, you know, and I have other Halloween themed palettes that I do use regularly all year round. So for me, it doesn't really make sense. And I could dupe that color story with other palettes in my collection. So, I decided not to keep that one. And that was a 14 pan, so I'm earning 140 points. So from the declutter, I was able to gain 320 points. Then we have all of my pans, so all the shades that I was able to hit a pan on. And that's the shade Eclipse from the Beauty Bay Mini Charms palette. Then the shade Glacial from the Beauty Moon's Ice Maiden palette. Then the shade Enigma from Makeup Beauty Shop. Then the shade Pluto from the Mini Charms palette by Beauty Bay. Then the shade Starry Sky from Salmon 2 by Udens Eye. Then the shade Aurora, again from the Beauty Bay Mini Charms. Dragon Eye palette by What's Up Beauty. Then the Fog shade from the Mio Makeup The Frog's Tale. And then the shade Magic and Myth. Both of these were from the Dragon Eye palette by What's Up Beauty. So we have 10 eyeshadows that I've hit pan on, which is quite a lot actually. And each pan gives you 5 points. So I'm earning 50 points for this category. Then there are 2 shades that I was completely able to use up from my palettes, and it's from palettes that I would love to completely use up this year. So it's the shade Matcha Cookie from the Merry Christmas palette by Udens Eye, and the shade Snowflake from Christmas Eve palette by Udens Eye. And for me, I count an eyeshadow used the same way as if I would declutter it or if I would purchase it. Like it always is 10 points. So if I completely use up an eyeshadow, I'm giving myself 10 points because I technically decluttered it by completely using it up. So I'm earning 20 points for this category. Then we have 10 uses on an eyeshadow, and I was able to use the shade Jingle Bell from Merry Christmas palette 10 times. Then the shade Gingerbread, I was able to use 30 times, so that's 3 points. Then the shade Snowflake 20 times, so it's 2 points. Then the shade Ice Crystal from the Christmas Eve palette, also 3 points. The shade Silvery Dream from Christmas Eve, 1 point. Then the shade Softly from the Christmas Eve. I used the shade Pluto from the Mini Charms palette 20 times. Then the shade Cosmic 10 times, which is also from the Mini Charms palette. Then the shade Omashu from the Earth palette from Little Cosmetics. It was in the Avatar The Last Airbender collection. Then we have the shade Crystal from the Frog's Tales palette by Mio Makeup. Starry Sky from Salmone by Udens Eye. Then the shade Nebula from Udens Eye from the Salmone 2 palette. And then the shade Aurora from the Beauty Bay Mini Charms. So for this category, I'm earning 19 points because it's 1 point each 10 uses. Then there are a couple of eyeshadows that I've used 25 times, and that's the shade Gingerbread from the Merry Christmas palette, the shade Snowflake from the Christmas Eve palette, the shade Softly, also from Christmas Eve, as well as the shade Ice Crystal. Then we have the Matcha Cookie from Merry Christmas and Jingle Bell. And then I think that's everything. So that's 16 points because it's 8 eyeshadows, and 25 uses gives me 2 points each. Then there is one shade that I've used 50 times to this point, and it's the shade Gingerbread, so that's 3 points. And then we have 2 points from my palette crush of the month, which is a palette that I have to use every single day that I do my makeup in a month, and that gives me 2 points, and it was the Chromebook Volume 2 by DD Signature. Then for my project 20 uses, or like any eyeshadow palette that I have 20 uses on, I get 1 point. And that was the Ice Maiden palette by Beauty Moons Cosmetics. 2 times, 2 points are from the Christmas Eve palette, 1 point is for the Merry Christmas palette, then the Mini Charms palette, the Salmonette palette, the Chromebook palette, and then the Mayo Makeup from Stealth palette. So altogether I'm earning 8 points. Then there's one palette that I was able to hit my 50 uses mark, and that's the Christmas Eve palette, so that's 2 points for that. And I was also able to hit my 75 usage point, so that gives me 3 points, and it's for the Merry Christmas palette and Christmas Eve palette. Again, they're my Pendos palettes for this year, one of those. So I'm focusing on them, and I'm using shades from them as a blush, so obviously I use that every single day. And yeah, I think that's every category. I hope I've mentioned everything. So for the points that I was able to earn, I'm earning 453 points. So you know, I'm almost on the same number. But since we started this month in the negative 305 points, and obviously we've spent 590 points and we've earned 453 points, that leaves me in the negative 442 points. I will definitely try to be better next month. A, to not purchase so much, and B, I have a couple shades that I'm kind of close to decluttering and like completely using up, and a couple shades that are pretty close to hitting pan on. So that should earn me multiple points. And there are a lot of palettes that I'm almost at either the 20 uses mark or 50 uses mark, or multiple shades. So I'm kind of close to that as well. So I will focus on them to get to that point, to be able to again have a little bit of help in that. I will definitely declutter the Palpitation palette. I don't know if there's anything else in my collection that I want to get rid of, but every single month I'm kind of going through my collection, and if I see something that I don't feel like really like makes sense for me to keep, I just declutter it. So that's what we've got. So that's kind of the plan. And obviously I'm doing worse than I was last month, but I hope that the summer will really give me a chance to fully get through my Project 20 uses, my Pendos palettes. I really want to get rid of the Merry Christmas palette by the end of summer. I only have, 4 shades left, so it shouldn't take that long. And yeah, that would obviously also earn me 160 points for a used up palette, so that would be really wonderful. But that's kind of just like a little housekeeping. Let me know how you're doing. How many palettes have you bought? Were you able to hit any pans or use up any shades? Like, please let me know down. Please let me know down below. I love to hear your stories and your panning journey, or just the things that you buy, because sometimes I don't know these brands, so you always inspire me to look up something new. So let me know down below. I will link Laura down below, obviously, and a couple projects that I'm currently doing as well. And that's gonna be everything for today. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Currently it's the end of the month for me, so I hope you've enjoyed this month and have so much fun in July. I hope you're enjoying some nice vacation, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with my Shop My Stash. So have a great day and bye!